Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is going to be the start of another novel writing vlog. Hopefully the sound is okay in this video. I still have not gotten the new phone and my camera has been all wonky, but I'm gonna get one soon, I promise. It's just a large purchase. I need to psych myself up for it. But so, when we last spoke, my historical mystery manuscript, nicknamed Project Mayfair, had just finished up with my beta readers, and now I am ready to tackle my edits. I think this is probably going to be the last round of edits before I start testing my luck with literary agents. Exciting, nerve-wracking, a lot happening. My current plan is to edit the scenes that need some work and also implement some of the changes my beta readers suggested. I have made myself a little checklist so I can keep track of the things that I need to do. Now, when my beta readers got my manuscript, I think it was just shy of 92,000 words, I think. And I really don't want the manuscript to be much longer than that. I think 92,000 is a little long, but not a deal breaker, so I really don't want to add too much. Now, I said in my last video that I was getting rid of chapter 1 and making what was chapter 2 now chapter 1. I did that, and so I was able to get my word count down to just under 91,000 words. I think it was like 90,600 after I made that change, because obviously if I'm deleting an entire chapter, that's saving me a lot of words. And while I did need to rework chapter 2 a little bit to make it make sense as the new intro chapter, I was able to shave off a lot of word count there. Now I have started editing a little bit and I added on another like 250, 300 words or so. So now my current word count is around 90,800 or 90,900. I'm not quite sure. So I have approximately 1,100 words that I can still add and be within my targeted word count. I think that's very doable. I think all of the changes that I need to make, I can make with 1,100 words, but we'll see. If it was even under 92,000, that would be great, but we'll see. I'm going to make all of these edits and then I'm going to try to take 2 weeks away from the manuscript so I can come back and reread it with a fresher perspective, put a little bit of emotional distance between myself and the manuscript so I can be more objective. Tomorrow I am going to the local Barnes & Noble to meet up at the Starbucks with one of my friends from writing group, and I'm going to get some edits done tomorrow while I'm hanging out with her. So I'll probably talk to you again tomorrow afternoon. Hello, so chugging along with my edits, this past Sunday I went to the coffee shop with one of my friends from Writing Circle to work on my editing, and I was able to edit an entire chapter while I was there, so that was good. I have my little checklist and I have ticked off a lot of things from the list already. There are a few more things I need to change, and at least one chapter I need to fix a continuity issue in, but I think we're going to go out together again this weekend to get some work done. Some other people from Writing Circle reached out to me and said like, oh, I wish I could have come with you guys, but I had something going on that weekend, so maybe some more people will want to join us this time. I think that would be fun. I also wanted to show you that I just purchased George in London Into the Streets by Lucy Inglis. Project Mayfair takes place in the Regency era, and I thought this would be a really great resource to help me write better and more accurate descriptions. This is a book that talks about George in London basically going neighborhood by neighborhood. So they have an entire section talking about Mayfair, and they also talk about, Soho and Covent Garden and all these different places. So I'm hoping it will have some really great information and details to help me. I think descriptions of places, I think that's one thing that I want to get better at, because so often I can see the scene very clearly in my mind, but I'm not sure exactly how to articulate it. So that's something I think I could work on, and I'm very excited to read this book and learn some more. That is it for this update. Very happy with how the editing is going. I really think I'll be done soon, and then once I have done everything I wanted to do, I'm going to attempt to take 2 weeks away from the manuscript to provide a fresh perspective. Easier said than done. It'll be very hard to not look at my child for 2 weeks. Hello. So first of all, as you can probably tell, I got a new phone. I just got an iPhone 14, and this camera is very sharp, very nice picture. So hopefully the sound is now going to be better for you all in videos going forward. I wanted to update you on what I accomplished today. I met my friend from Writing Circle at the coffee shop, and I think I've made all the major edits that I can make at this point. I did everything on my checklist, and then while I was at the coffee shop, I also went through all of my beta reader comments, and I think everything that needed to be addressed, I took care of. Currently, my draft of Project Mayfair is 92,141 words, which is perfect. I really do not want it to be much longer than this, but I could probably add another 100, 200 if I have to. I think right now I'm going to plan to take some time away from it for hopefully 2 weeks. I'm going to attempt to not look at it for the next 2 weeks. Then 2 weeks from now, I will reread the entire manuscript from the beginning. I made another checklist with some things to pay attention to as I am reading. If at that point everything feels good to me, I'll probably start querying. My arbitrary goal was to query in August, and I think that's very achievable. Yeah, very exciting. I will probably make some minor edits as I'm rereading it. Like, I know there were a couple comments about some of the language seeming modern in places, and I fixed any instance where someone pointed out like a particular word or phrase is sounding modern, but that's something where I'm gonna have that in mind as I'm rereading it, and just keep certain things in mind in the rereading process and fix them if I have to. I did today find an interesting article. It is from LadyNikki.com. I believe she's a historical fiction author. That's what I took from her website. And she has this article called Historical Fiction, 20 Words and Phrases That Sound Old But Aren't. I will try to remember to link that in the description. And this article actually helped me take some words and phrases out of my novel that I thought were Regency appropriate, but it turns out they're not. For instance, the grand scheme of things. I used that once in the manuscript. Apparently, that did not come into popular usage until the 1980s. Also, the word plopped, that was not used until the 1920s. I had one instance of that word in the book. And also the word relationship to mean a romantic relationship. I used that a couple of times and I rephrased. I wasn't entirely sure what would be the appropriate word to use for a relationship because, there really was no such thing as dating in this time period, and the word courtship didn't feel right in the context, so I kind of just referred to it as, an entanglement, a connection, I think love affair, I could have gotten away with that, but it wasn't really a popular term. Like, I think affair was used in that context in that time period, but very rarely. So I tried to avoid using the word affair as well. So those were the 3 words and phrases I removed from my novel after reading this article. I will link it so you can go check it out. Very interesting. As I've been editing, every time I encountered a word that I thought sounded potentially too modern, what I did was I looked it up in Merriam-Webster, because Merriam-Webster will tell you a word's earliest known usage, and that helped me. So I tackled everything that was on my list. I just am going to come back to the draft in 2 weeks with fresh eyes, and that's about it for now. Hello everyone, Jackie here to wrap up this vlog. So my current plan is to not touch or look at Project Mayfair until the first week in July. I will try very hard to not look at it between now and then. Then I will read the entire manuscript over again and see if there are any other things that I want to change. I'm tentatively going to say after I read it over one last time, I'm going to try to start querying literary agents. You know, I feel all in all really good about the manuscript. So I think at that point, you know, I'll have addressed all of the suggestions and concerns of my beta readers, and I don't see why I couldn't start querying at that point. And also, you know, I'll just start by querying like 3 to 5 agents, and then I can make adjustments as needed. You know, if nobody bites, then I know clearly there's something with the query letter or the sample pages that needs to be fixed. At some point, I just have to bite the bullet and put myself out there. So in the next 2 weeks, while I am not looking at my manuscript, I'm going to work on polishing my query letter and synopsis. I do have a query letter drafted. I was working on it while my manuscript was with my beta readers, and I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously, I never queried before, and it is a daunting task, but I did a lot of research about querying. You know, it's kind of sad because when you watch videos about querying, they give advice that seems like it should be common sense, such as actually tell them what your novel's about. Actually follow the agent submission guidelines, and do not insult or threaten the agent in the query letter. You would think that would be common sense, but evidently it's not. And I've seen industry professionals say that if you follow the query guidelines and structure your query correctly and actually talk to the agent with respect, you're already ahead of like 50% of people. That's just mind-blowing to me. Like, apparently another common thing is people being extremely arrogant in their query letters, talking about how they're gonna change the face of literature. I'm gonna make $1 million, and my book's not like other books in this genre because they're all trash and my book is good. And that just blows my mind that some people actually like are that full of themselves that they are writing to an agent saying these things. Anyways, but seems like I will be ahead of a lot of people from the get-go, so I guess that's good. Though I feel bad for the literary agents that apparently they have to deal with this crap every day. Like, literally, why would you insult someone when you're writing them for representation? I don't understand. Like, why? Why would you do that? You're asking them to help you. Why are you putting them down? Anyways, that's besides the point, but some of the things that people apparently do while they're querying, baffling to me. Another great thing is last month at my Mystery Writers of America meeting, I actually showed my face on Zoom and worked up the nerve to say hi to everyone and introduce myself. And so while we were waiting for the meeting to start, we started talking. People were asking me, you know, is there anything you're working on? And I said, yeah, I'm working on this Regency set historical mystery manuscript. One thing is the chapter president, she said to me, "Oh my God, that's so great. Historical mysteries are really popular right now," which was relieving for me to hear because I was worried I was going to have a really hard time selling a historical mystery. But if you believe her, they're very popular, so that's good. And secondly, she said to me, you know, if you need people to look over your query letter, just send an email to the group. I'm sure people will read it for you and provide feedback. And if nobody else will do it, I'll do it. So that was so nice of her to offer, and I'm definitely going to take her up on that. I will, you know, just reach out to the people in the Mystery Writers of America email group and say, hey, I'm writing this book. It's a historical mystery about X. I would love if anyone had any query tips they're willing to share with me or would look over my query letter. Like, that would be so helpful to actually have people who have been through this and come out on the other side give me some pointers. So yeah, I thought that was so wonderful that she offered to read the query letter for me. This person who she literally just met like that day, had their first conversation with that day. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna ask people if they're willing to give me feedback on it. So that is my game plan as of now. I feel tentatively optimistic about it, you know. I think I will be ready to start querying soon. When I think about Project Mayfair, there's nothing that I would want to change about it. I'm gonna give it this last read through just to confirm everything is how I want it to be, to confirm that I addressed all the beta readers' concerns. And then I guess I'm going to give it a shot. So we'll see. And God, like, I know that rejection is normal and lots of people have to query multiple books before they get an agent, let alone get published. But if I'm being completely honest, if nobody wants to represent or publish Project Mayfair, I'm going to be so devastated. Oh my God, I'm laughing through the fear. But like, I just love this manuscript so much. I love my two main characters, and I would just love to write more books about them and to be able to share those books with all of you. So it would be really heartbreaking if it doesn't work out, honestly. But I'm going to be optimistic, and I'm going to acknowledge that, you know, sometimes it takes time, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you're a bad writer. I know I'm a good writer. I know I am. People have always told me that I am. Maybe it'll work out. I don't know. I really hope so, honestly. Like, I know rejection is normal, but it would be very difficult for me, because I'm so passionate about this and I feel so great about it and I'm so excited to share it. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up this writing vlog here and talk to you again in about 2 weeks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. My social media links are down below if you want to follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, or be my friend on Goodreads. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you next time.